All right, we're going to have a panel, but joining me for now is East Atlanta, Erin Haynes. She's MSNBC political contributor and editor-at-large for The 19th. Erin 3000, so happy to have you here. Listen, when we in the media cannot call out a liar, which is what Herschel Walker is, there's ample evidence that this man is untruthful. He tells lie after lie after lie, and now we're getting to the point where he's lying about how many children he has. I'm really confounded as to why this man is in a dead heat with Reverend Raphael Warnock. We're both ATLians here. Give me your thoughts on why you think that is.
Well, Tiffany, I think it's just for the reason that Dana just said, because control of the Senate is the thing that is at issue, not Herschel Walker's past, his narrative, or the hypocrisy that is emerging around these allegations. Look, Georgia Republicans already lost once to Raphael Warnock in 2021, but this is still a close race. This time they are betting on the winningest running back in the history of the University of Georgia to carry them across the finish line. And despite him being dogged by issues that you mentioned for the entirety of his campaign, you have GOP voters continuing to stick with Walker because they want control of the Senate. They want to be able to legislate the very things that candidate Walker is being accused of in this moment.
Which is ridiculous. I do want to bring in the bringer of all the funk, and that is Roland Martin. He's host of the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show and author of the new book, White Fear, How the Browning of America is Making White Folks Lose Their Minds. Well, I know some people who've lost their minds, and that's people who are still backing Herschel Walker for Senate, Roland. I mean, listen, Erin talked about why the infrastructure wants to support Herschel Walker. I'm just confused at how these faux, what they call themselves, Christian right-wing extremist evangelicals who don't go to church, don't know the Bible, but somehow it's conflated with GOP politics and policy, how those folks are still backing Herschel Walker. What do you say?
Well, very easy. That was a German theologian named Dietrich Bonhoeffer who coined the phrase cheap grace. And that is exactly what white conservative Christians offer. And so when one of their own screws up, they go, but it's the grace of God that is on them. Now, first of all, my wife is an ordained pastor. I totally understand grace. I understand forgiveness. I understand that we all sin. But there's also a thing called hypocrisy when it comes to these same white Christian evangelicals. The moral majority was a farce from the beginning. And so it has never been about morality. It's never been about character. It's what I told Chris Christie a year ago on ABC This Week. It is about power. They don't care about morals and values and character. Donald Trump proved that. So we should just stop even listening to any of these fake Christians when they talk about the issue of morality. They want power. Dana Lash, she called one of Herschel's children's mother a skank. That's what she said. That's your Christianity. And so they don't care about the Bible or Jesus. It's about power.
Clearly. Erin, take a listen to Christian Walker. He has been quite the social media darling this week after admitting that most of the things about his father's candidacy was in fact a lie. Take a listen.
I stayed silent as the atrocities committed against my mom were downplayed. I stayed silent when it came out that my father, Herschel Walker, had all these random kids across the country, none of whom he raised. Do you care about family values? I was silent lie after lie after lie. The abortion card drops yesterday. It's literally his handwriting in the card. They say they have receipts, whatever. He gets on Twitter. He lies about it. Okay, I'm done. Done. Everything has been a lie.
Okay, so one, I want to make it clear that Christian Walker is no hero. He's clearly a child who's been traumatized by not having maybe a father around. But while Christian is definitely a victim of his father's lack of presence, he is an election denier who opposes Black Lives Matter, as well as he opposes gay pride. Make of that what you will. He's anti-body positivity, anti-feminist, and he rages against COVID protocols. So I'm not trying to make this young man a hero by any means, but I think his point in saying, hey, all of this was a lie is something that we have to pay attention to. What do you think this impact, Christian Walker's Instagram videos coming out, what impact do you think this will have on the campaign trail, especially in this debate coming up, which I think you might be there, Erin? I don't know. Let me know.
Yeah, I think I might be there too. And also, is this debate even still going to happen given
Right.
just this continued avalanche of stories? So we're going to stay tuned for that. But look, I mean, you have Christian Walker. You also have the woman who is the mother of Herschel Walker's 10-year-old son, who is raising these abortion allegations, both coming forward and saying that they are speaking up because they feel that this is a hypocritical stance that Herschel Walker is taking on the campaign trail as a pro-life, pro-family candidate. And so this is absolutely a tragic family drama that is unfolding before the public. But this also matters because of his stance and because Herschel Walker does support a national ban on abortion with no exceptions. And so, as political journalists, that's why we're covering this, because this is about informing the electorate, regardless of what they ultimately end up deciding. And so there are still a lot of questions with about, I guess, 31 days, I think is where we are until the election. Is this going to be a deal breaker for Republican voters who are really just focused on regaining control of the Senate? Is this going to galvanize Democrats who, to cast a vote against Walker rather than for Warnock? And will this ultimately be a narrative of redemption or of hypocrisy in the Bible Belt, where obviously faith is taking center stage? And how do voters square really someone accused of facilitating an abortion now being in a position to legislate abortion access for others? So these are all important questions with about a month to go into the election. Early voting is about to begin in our home state, Tiffany, and this has really just thrust the issue of abortion, which was already in this midterm race, into an entirely new light. And they, maybe are going to be headed to the debate stage early next week. So we'll just have to keep watching.
Well, we'll definitely keep watching. I want our viewers to take a listen to an exchange between Herschel Walker and a reporter. Roland, I have to say the baffling thing about this was that the wife was calling the previous woman. Our friend Bakari tweeted out that, "Hello, Shirley, this is Barbara." It was a classic woman-to-woman revisited here. Take a listen when he's confronted by a reporter about all of this and his ridiculous denial.
I know nothing about any woman having an abortion, and that had happened, I would have said it, because there's nothing to be ashamed of there.
You said that if this did happen, there's nothing to be ashamed of. How do you
Wait, I never said.
You said that this morning on you.
No, what I said, I was talking about something totally different than if it did happen. I said with my ex-wife in my past, nothing to do with what this woman said.
So
I said this here, the abortion thing is false.
I mean, it's ridiculous, Roland, because the media, there is reporting the Daily Beast has literal receipts. Someone said, if you have a get well soon card from Herschel Walker and a check, we want to hear from you here at the Cross Connection. I mean, he's literally lying on camera. What's your take?
They don't care. Newt Gingrich this week went, well, he's had lots of concussions. They don't care. They elected an idiot, Tommy Tuberville in Alabama, okay? You've got Paul Gosar in Arizona. You had Louis Gohmert in Texas. It doesn't matter. They have made it clear. We want the seat. And so they know Herschel's going to do whatever they actually say. They know he's not smart. Look, Republicans in D.C., they know Donald Trump is an idiot. They trash him publicly. But he is the conduit to power. That's what this is all about. And so Democrats, stop being focused on will Republicans turn out. No, Democrats and progressives should be focused on driving turnout. That is going to those rural areas in Georgia. I was in Swainsboro, Georgia on Thursday moderating an event that involved the Warnock campaign, and we were talking to voters there. And so they've got to be focused on that. 31 days, early voting starts on October 17th. Don't fixate on the other side. Drive your people to the polls. That's what they better be doing, or they actually might lose. And yes, Warnock may lose. It's about turnout, period.
Yeah.